Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon here with your Monday Night Raw review on Monday, January 4th, 2020. We got a lot to talk about, folks. We got a lot to talk about, especially with the ending. The Drew McIntyre Keith Lee match for the WWE Championship. Then we had someone challenge Drew McIntyre for the championship at Royal Rumble. I don't think y'all are going to be happy. I don't think y'all are happy about it. But we're going to break it down. What does this mean for the Royal Rumble? What does this mean for WrestleMania? We're going to talk about it here tonight. And honestly, outside of that, outside of the final 30 minutes of this show, if you didn't watch it, you missed nothing. They promoted Legends Night to spark up the ratings, but all they had was them do little segments backstage. It wasn't even like a full-on Legends Night. Like the one Raw 25 episode they had back in 2018 where they just totally ignored the storylines heading into the Royal Rumble and they focused on the Legends. It wasn't that, but we had Legends Night to, again, spark up the ratings. So let's just dive into the show. Let's talk about it. We started off with The Miz and John Morrison, Miz TV. They promoted their guest, The New Day. I'm not going to talk much about this segment. This was awful. This segment sucked. Just terrible, cringe. Like, who's giving these lines to Miz Morrison and The New Day? They just sound cringe, uncool, and ridiculously scripted. It was awful. And then this led to Teddy Long coming out and saying that Miz and Morrison were going to fight The Undertaker, which it made me chuckle a little bit, but then it was realistically The New Day. So this led to a tag team match between The New Day, Miz, and Morrison, which The New Day won in about 18 minutes. It was a decent tag team match. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean much, I think, and I didn't really care about it. So, and The Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank again. May I tell you, I did not watch Raw last week, as you guys know. And next week, I'm not watching Raw next week because of the college football championship game with Alabama and Ohio State. But why is the briefcase back on The Miz? Do we really have nothing else to do with The Miz and Morrison? That their cheap way of getting out of this is Morrison was the one to cash in at TLC and not The Miz. So The Miz is rightfully Mr. Money in the Bank. I don't understand that. He's not going to win. But I don't remember a year where the Money in the Bank briefcase was represented this badly. I don't remember a time, but it's just been disrespected, in my opinion. The Money in the Briefcase has been disrespected from the year of 2020. But moving on here, we had AJ Styles in a match against Elias. Again, a match that really didn't mean much. AJ Styles got the win in 12 minutes, something like that. I'm not so sure. It was a clean win over Elias. Then afterwards, Jackson Riker was going in the ring, and he swung the guitar at AJ Styles, almost kicked the guitar, and the guitar broke. Jackson Riker ran out of the ring to get away from Omos, and then AJ Styles declared himself for the Royal Rumble match. So that was that. It was okay, I guess. Then we got Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans versus Asuka and Charlotte. Now, I did not know what to make of this. I did not know what to make of it. I didn't care about the match, but the finish caught me by surprise. Let's just say that. So, Charlotte is bouncing off the ropes. Lacey Evans was playing around with Ric Flair the entire match. Ric Flair was out there in the corner of Charlotte Flair and Asuka. Ric Flair was there supporting Charlotte. He then grabs Charlotte's ankle and he distracts her own daughter. She gets rolled up by Peyton Royce. And then Lacey Evans goes over there and kisses Ric Flair in the cheek. I did not know what to make of this. And then Charlotte said, don't get in my business, stay out of my way, and get out of here. I don't know where this is leading. I think this is just a one-off thing. This is kind of going to start, this could start the downfall of the tag team of Charlotte and Asuka. Charlotte declared herself for the Royal Rumble match. I pray to God she doesn't win and Bianca Belair does. Seriously, man. If they... I'll say this again leading up. You guys will hear me say this multiple times on Raw, SmackDown reviews, leading until the Royal Rumble. If Bianca Belair does not win the Royal Rumble match this year, WWE is making a huge mistake. They really are. If she does not win, they're making a mistake. So, that was that. The whole thing was weird. I did not know what to make of it. But Asuka and Charlotte, more than likely, they're going to lose the tag team title soon. To who? I'm not so sure. But it's probably going to lead to Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania. And we all know what's going to happen. So, we got Matt Riddle against Bobby Lashley. This was a non-title match. This was a good match. This was a pretty good match for what it was. I thought it was a clever finish, but I don't like the way, building up challengers. Yeah, I thought the finish was good. Bobby Lashley tapped out Riddle in the hurt lock with the referee not seeing it. And then MVP's arguing with the referee. And then Matt Riddle rolled up Bobby Lashley. And it seems like we're getting a U.S. title match between Riddle and Bobby Lashley. But, why can't we just build up challengers by making them credible or winning a number one contender match? Why do they have to pin the champion to make them look weak? I don't understand it. It's a new year. You should get away from it. It's not good. It's making your champions look weak. Bobby Lashley, folks, Bobby Lashley has not lost a singles match as a member of the Hurt Business. Why would you have him get pinned in a meaningless, not meaningless, but why would you have him get pinned on a TV non-title match just to set up a championship match down the road? Whether it happens at the Royal Rumble or not, I'm not sure, but, why? I don't understand that decision a lot, but it seems like Riddle is going to be getting a United States Championship match down the line, probably at the Raw before Royal Rumble. Do I expect him to win? No, I don't. This was bad. Shayna Baszler lost to Dana Brooke. Yes. Shayna Baszler, two-time NXT Women's Champion. She was NXT Women's Champion for, I want to say, 14, a year, almost a year. She was NXT Women's Champion for a year, I think. She lost to Dana Brooke in 30 seconds. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this up. I got nothing. I got nothing for you about this match. Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. I like the throwback that Jeff Hardy had to 2008 Jeff Hardy with the sleeves. No face paint tonight. Randy did the whole sick ear thing to Jeff Hardy, sticking his finger in his ear and twisting it. This was fine. This was a fine match. Randy Orton beats Jeff Hardy and pins Jeff Hardy clean. He was going around all night talking some shit on some legends like Big Show, Mark Henry, who was on a scooter, which I'm not sure why, but I hope he's okay, and Ric Flair. So he's going around these legends, he's talking shit about them and all that stuff, and then he declares himself for the Royal Rumble match. So that was that. Lucha House Party versus the Hurt Business. 7 minutes. Lucha House Party wins after some arguing between Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Please do not break up the Hurt Business. It is way too early to break up the Hurt Business. They just won the Tag Team Championships. They are one of the best things on the show. Everybody loves them, and it would just be really bad to see them break up the Hurt Business. For what? What are you doing it for? I hope they don't break them up, but it seems like we're getting Lucha House Party versus the Hurt Business for Tag Team Championships soon. I can't care about that. I don't care. And then the only thing worth talking about on this show, WWE Championship match. Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee. What a match this was. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. You might agree with me. You might disagree with me. That's okay. You might have a different viewpoint on the match. That's okay. But for me personally, I have not been invested in a match on Monday Night Raw in a very long time. And I'm speaking the truth right there. This match was great. This was a great WWE Championship match. This gave me vibes of NXT Keith Lee. I know he hasn't had a great run on the main roster. He lost to Miz and Morrison. They changed his theme music. You know, he had the whole thing with Braun Strowman. Hasn't been a great run at all. His main roster run has been botched. But this was by far, and it's not even close, this was by far his best match on the main roster. He's giving a shoulder tackle to Drew McIntyre over the barricade into the Thunderdome to start the match. They're fighting on the outside. Then, back from commercial, they're slowing things up. Headbutts by McIntyre to Keith Lee. Keith Lee coming back at Drew McIntyre. Then, right before the second commercial, Keith Lee is on the apron. It looks like he's about to go for a moonsault, but he doesn't. He actually gets caught by McIntyre, and McIntyre launches Keith Lee for a powerbomb, and the back of Keith Lee landed right on the corner, on the left front corner of the announce table. That hurt my back just watching that. And I had a pretty good workout today where my back felt a little bit sore. It went away, but seeing that spot brought back the pain. Not really, but it made me feel like it. That was brutal. That was a nasty landing by Keith Lee. And then he does a Spanish fly to Drew McIntyre, and he almost lands on his head. That was pretty scary as well. But Drew then goes for the Claymore. He catches Drew McIntyre on the Claymore, gives him a Spirit Bomb, and Drew McIntyre barely kicks out. Then Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore kick on Keith Lee, and Drew McIntyre retains the WWE Championship. Very predictable outcome right there. Nobody thought that Keith Lee was going to beat Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, and we just wanted a good match, and it turned out to be a great WWE Championship match that we saw on the first Raw of 2021. But this is the talking point. Goldberg comes out, and he interrupts Drew McIntyre. He says, you got a lot of great things. You got heart, you got passion, you're big, you move fast, but the one thing you don't have is respect. He says you don't have respect because you look at the men and the women standing up front there and you think they're just old and washed up. And I'm going to teach you to respect. And I'm not here demanding anything. I'm not here asking you anything. I'm just challenging you. I knew this was coming right when his music came out. And then right when he said, I'm challenging you to a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble, my heart sank. My heart literally sank. And then Drew McIntyre, of course he accepted it. And then he got pushed by Goldberg to close the show. So there you have it. We're getting Goldberg again in a world title match on a major pay-per-view. What does this mean? What does this mean? I pray to God Goldberg is not winning this match. It would literally make no sense for him to go into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. He has no business being there in the first place, let alone get a championship match at the Royal Rumble. Folks, if Bill Goldberg defeats Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, you guys might not remember, but I went on a big rant, when Bill Goldberg defeated Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship back at Super Showdown. If that happens at the Royal Rumble, you're going to get the same rant from me on the Royal Rumble review than you did at that Super Showdown review last February. It's not going to be pretty. But what should happen is Goldberg comes back and he puts over Drew McIntyre. Goldberg's not in the Royal Rumble match. Goldberg has nothing to do with WrestleMania. And they decided to have Goldberg challenge McIntyre for the WWE Championship so they can keep Sheamus for WrestleMania. And now with Goldberg challenging McIntyre for the WWE Championship, could Sheamus win the Royal Rumble match this year? Keep that in your head, folks. Keep that in your head. Could Sheamus win the Royal Rumble match this year? It's very likely. It's very, very likely. But in the coming weeks, I'm sure we'll talk about this again as we're leading into the Royal Rumble on January 31st. I'm going to get out of here for tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you who tuned into the review tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are at 322 subscribers, I think. So thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Comment down below what you thought of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me in the video. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we're in the new year. We got some personal goals to talk about. Tomorrow, I'm going to list you my top 5 goals of 2021. So have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe.